In this episode of the HX1 Tonner Build, I've got some exciting packages that have arrived. So we'll start by unpacking these and I'll show you what we got. So this package is from RCE, Race Car Engineering here in Brisbane. And this one took a few weeks to arrive. But in this box, we have the Holley Pro Dash. So this is the Holley 12.3 inch Pro Dash, and this is the standalone version. There's two versions. There's your normal Holley Pro Dash and then your standalone version. And the difference between the two is your basic Pro Dash comes with everything that is in this box, and then your standalone comes with a heap of additional cables and harnessing. Now, if you're not running an ECU, you need the standalone. So you got all the sensors and inputs going directly into the Pro Dash. And then if you just running a Holley ECU, you don't need all the additional cable, because I believe it might all come with the ECU. So don't quote me on that. I think that's how I sort of interpret it anyway. But if you're not running an ECU, if you're just running a carby, then yeah, you just need the standalone. Now in this box, we have a heap of billet automotive buttons. Now these are from Billet Automotive Buttons, and a lot of you guys are probably familiar with the YouTube channel McFry Motorsports and Nelson. He's doing a build at the moment with a H Series style side ute. Bloody awesome build he's doing there. He's just painted it recently in I think it's jet black. It's a nice tubbed ute. Well, I think it's got a big block and a blower, so she's going to be a pretty bloody awesome burnout car. And he's already got the McFry car, which a lot of you guys are probably familiar with as well. So yeah, big thanks to Nelson for hooking us up with the buttons. Cheers, mate. They're gonna look bloody awesome in the car. I'll put a link to Nelson's YouTube channel in the show notes, and a link to his website if you are after some billet automotive buttons. Now the Pro Dash, it's not cheap, but it is gonna simplify a lot of things with this build, and there's a lot of functionality within the Pro Dash. It can control your thermo fans, your indicators, your fuel pump. It's got inputs for your fuel level sensor. You can run all your digital sensors directly into the dash. Has a GPS as well, that you can get rid of the speedo cable, clean up the engine bay. And yeah, it's just going to simplify a lot of things, get rid of the old clunky gauges that potentially might not work anyway, that probably needs sent off and get them recalibrated. But yeah, this is all just going to be plug and play, simplify a lot of things, and there's a lot of functionality. And then down the track, if I ever do want to go EFI, I can stick on a Holley Sniper system, and this is all compatible stuff. So yeah, if I ever do get sick of the carby, I can easily go EFI with this thing as well. Now with the wiring, I'm not exactly sure on how to wire this up at this stage or what goes where. I will have to do a little bit of research and looking into how that all works. But the main purpose of this video is just to get the Pro Dash installed with the buttons and do a custom dash surround. Because this is quite tall, this Pro Dash, it is going to require a bit of cutting and shutting. I do have an original GDS dash here, and I'm definitely not going to cut and shut that up. If I did that, you guys would absolutely destroy me in the comments. And these things are worth quite a bit of money as well, so I'm not going to hack up the GDS dash. So I've just decided I'm just going to do a complete new dash custom surround. Okay, I've got the dash pad sitting in there and just got that Pro Dash sort of roughly in there as well. And you can just see it's pretty tight, but the bezels are pretty thick. The bezels are probably a good 20 mil thick, so I can actually lift that up higher, but it is hitting here. So what I might do is I might trim a little bit out of there and just see if that's gonna slide up in this dash pad a little bit further. I can come up probably another 20 mil, and then that should hopefully clear the steering column. And then once that's in position, I can kind of figure out how I'm gonna, I guess, get that mounted. Now I've just used a body saw just to take this section out here like that. So then that's gonna allow me to get that dash to sit up in the dash pad a little bit more. Okay, I've just clearanced out the dash pad, and I've also just sat the seat in there. I've sat in there just so I could figure out exactly where I want the Pro Dash to sit. And I think roughly about there is where I want it to sit. I can see most of the Pro Dash from in between the steering wheel when I'm sort of sitting back. So yeah, I think now what I'm going to do is make up some brackets and tabs and weld that thing in. I'll just pull this dash out, the dash pad out, so I can weld in some brackets. Now with the mounts for the Pro Dash, these bolt directly on the back side of it. So there's 6 mounting bolts. I'm going to just use 4, and I think it's going to be an issue trying to get to the back of them once it's in the car. So what I've done is I've just got this angle, this 90-degree angle, and I've just drilled some holes in it. So then that way I can mount it from the side, so the bolts can come in this way. And then I've just made up these 90-degree brackets, so that's going to weld directly to the cabin, and then I'll drill a hole in there, and then I'll put a bolt in there, and then that way I can adjust the angle of the Pro Dash, so it'll be adjustable. Okay, then brackets are welded in, so you can just see this section here is welded directly to the cabin on both sides, and then it pivots on this bolt here. So yeah, that is now adjustable, and it will go up higher, but it is hitting slightly on the top of that steering column, but yeah, it will go up higher. I have ordered a billet steering column, so I'm hoping the diameter is going to be a little bit smaller, and then that's going to clear no worries. Otherwise I can adjust the steering wheel out that way a little bit, or put a shim in here just to drop it. It's only like 1 or 2 mil, but yeah, that comes up all the way pretty much, so you can get behind it, you can pull the connector out, so it's going to be quite handy, I think. So when I welded them in, I just used this digital level box. So I just welded one bracket in on one side and then got the bolt in, and then I just used this to get that nice and square, so that's sitting at 90 degrees, and then that's 0. So I got that all square, and then I also measured off from the steering wheel, so measured off from this point here to the steering wheel and just squared it up with the steering wheel. You don't want to square it off by the cabin because that is kind of rounded, so yeah, square it up from the steering wheel. Okay, I've just got the rest of the dash pieces in here just to figure out exactly how I'm gonna make this custom surround. I've got a bit of an idea how I'm gonna do it. I'm sort of still gonna be trying to figure out as I go, I think, but I've got a rough idea. I might make it out of a couple of pieces. So I might make this section here flat, and then it'll transition into this section. So I'll probably reuse this piece and put something over the top, and then yeah, make up a flat piece that will go in there. And I'm thinking I might sort of make it in 2 sections. So yeah, this will be one piece, and then on the other side that'll be another piece. But I'm just going to try and figure this out as I go, but I think that's how I'm going to sort of do it roughly. And I've got over here, I've just went and got some materials. So I've just got a couple, or a sheet of 2.5mm aluminium, and then a sheet of acrylic, which is 3mm. So I think what I'll do is I'll put this over that bottom section. So I'll cut a piece out and then yeah, glue that to the bottom section. And then yeah, I'll use the aluminium that I can bend up to try and make that, that piece around the Pro Dash. First thing I'm going to do is start on this bottom section, and I've just cut up this 3mm piece of acrylic. I just got this from Bunnings, and I just used a 1mm cutting disc on the cordless angle grinder, and then that cut it pretty well. And then just this section here, I just used the body saw and cut that out, and then used a die grinder to get the final shape. And this sits in there pretty nicely. I've just made it a little bit longer up here, and yeah, that sits in there pretty nicely. So what I'm going to do is glue that in. I think I'm going to just use this JB Weld. So this is like a 2-part epoxy glue. And I've also just cleaned up, so I've just scuffed all this up, the surface that it's going to be glued to. And then I've scuffed up this side of the acrylic as well, just to make it stick a bit better. And I've just gone over with some wax and grease remover as well. So yeah, I'll start gluing this in. Clamped all that up and let that sit for about 5 hours. So I'll undo all these clamps now and see how she looks. It's got that bottom section screwed in there and I think that looks pretty good. I've just left the plastic on there for the time being to protect it. So once I peel that off, it's gonna look a bit better. And then I think also what I'll do is I'll use some filler around here to smooth that out and then on the edges as well. But yeah, I can start making this top sort of infill section now. And I think what I'm gonna do is probably make it in 2 sections. So make sort of one section here and then that other side here, another section. So I've just made up this template out of cardboard and I just used a few bits and pieces and sort of stuck them together like that. Now I think that is going to be one side, so that'll kind of sit in there. Hang on, it's a bit hard to hold this and the camera at the same time. And anyway, so that'll sort of give you a bit of an idea how that's going to sit in there. So yeah, that top section will screw to the dash pad, and then this bottom section will screw to the acrylic on the bottom there. Okay, so I just got some aluminium from the aluminium supplier here in Brisbane, and I got a half sheet and then I got them to cut it in half again so I could fit in the car. So I got 2 of these sheets, so I've got more than enough in case I stuff it up. I've got plenty of goes here. I'm not sure how it's gonna sort of work out, but I think, yeah, I've got this template. I'll trace around that, I'll cut it out, I'll bend it up and then just see how it looks. Okay, I've just bent up this first section and it fits in there really well, so that bends nice, but I started doing this bottom bend and it just started bending on the edges or on the ends, just because this pan brake, it flexes in the middle. It's, yeah, basically a piece of shit. It's a cheap and nasty eBay pan brake, not heavy duty enough. So yeah, it's just flexing in the middle and causing the ends to bend, but not that middle section. So I don't want to ruin this piece any further. So what I'll do is I'll wait till Monday. It is the weekend now. I'll wait till Monday and take it around to a proper fabrication shop and try and get them to bend that. So I'll bolt this in the car and then I'll start making up the other piece, and I'll have to wait around till Monday to be able to finish this off and then get that bottom section bolted in. So that's what it looks like sitting in the car. So that's bolted up the top there, and then yeah, still need to bend that up and then bolt the bottom down. So I'll go on to the other side and make up pretty much the same as the other side. And then in this center section, I'll just cut up a piece. It'll just be a flat piece that will sit in there and then yeah, bolt to there. So it'll be 3 pieces. There'll be this piece, that center piece, and then the piece on the right hand side there. So that flat piece, that'll just sort of hide this sort of gap in here. Okay, that is the second piece all fabbed up and sitting in there. And I think that sits in there pretty nicely. It's a bit of stuffing around to get it to fit. It's a bit of, yeah, cut it out, put it in, take it out again, grind it, put it in, take it out, grind it, and just, yeah, a lot of in and out. But eventually it's fitting nicely. I still got to bend this piece up here, but I've got to wait till Monday, like the other side, and find a decent pan brake to bend that up, and then that way I can bolt this piece to that, and that's going to make it a lot more rigid. And then up the top here, that middle section, I'm going to fab up a piece. I've just got the nut certs as well. So one thing to note is the dash pad had the speed nuts. I got rid of them and I've put in nut certs, and I've got a 6 in total. So there's 2 holding this section, 2 that'll hold that, and then 2 that'll hold that as well. Okay, this is a centerpiece that I've cut out, so I'll bolt that in, and then that is pretty much all done. Okay, so that is the middle piece fitted in there, and I think that finishes it off nicely. So I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out. That was my first go, and yeah, it turned out pretty well. The tilt still works, so that's a good thing. But it does look pretty plain. Yeah, it's very, very plain, but I'm thinking once I put the buttons in, and I think to break it up, I'm gonna have to put something here, which is probably gonna be like a multimedia screen. Okay, I've just got them button surrounds stuck on there, and I just made up a mock-up TV screen just out of plastic. So I think that definitely breaks it up. I played around with a few different options, and I think that's probably going to turn out the best. So over there I've got the ignition, the start button, the fuel pump, thermos, power steering, pump, door on and off, or door lock on and off. And then over here I'm just going to run all the lights, the wipers and the hazards. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on that. I'm also wondering what I should do with the dash surround. Should I keep the brushed aluminium look? Should I polish it up? I could paint it. I could wrap it in vinyl. I'm going to wrap this whole car in vinyl, like the dash pad, the seats, the door cards. So I could wrap the dash surround as well in the same color. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on that. Yeah, leave a comment in the comment section on what you reckon I should do with that. So I've still got a couple of things I need to finish off with the dash. I need to bend up that bottom section and then yeah, mount the buttons and wire it all up. But for the most part, it's pretty much done. But I need to finish off this episode for today. It is Monday, so I need to get it all finished off for the 2:30 Monday time slot that I usually upload to. And I'm pretty hungover today. I had a bit of a session yesterday. So yeah, it's just gonna be chill, finish this video off and upload it and chill out, I think. So I'll probably do another video of wiring up the dash and all the buttons. I'm probably gonna do all custom wiring throughout this car and get rid of all the old wirings. So if you wanna help support the channel, I've got some Shenke Garage merch. So I'll put a link in the show notes below. So click on that link and it'll take you to the merch store. You can also just Google Shenke Garage merch store. I'm pretty sure it'll come up in Google search. Also, I'm about 4,500 subscribers, so getting close to the 5,000 milestone. So yeah, appreciate it if you could help me out and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you are new to the channel, I'll put a card up in this corner here for the build of the HX 1-tonner. So I recommend watching it from the very first episode all the way to the latest. So it's all in order, so have a binge on that. But yeah, we'll leave it with that and we'll see you next time on Shenke Garage. Cheers.